Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Lyssa. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a simple pot roast recipe. All you're going to need for this is obviously a roast. The roast I got is just a little bit bigger than 2 pounds. You need at least a 2-pound roast. And then you're going to need some Worcestershire sauce. You're going to need some red wine, and this ain't nothing fancy, but make sure that you do not use a sweet red wine, either Merlot or Cabernet or something like that. Optional is baby potatoes. You can use regular Idaho potatoes too, though, if you don't have those. And then you're going to need some bell pepper, garlic, and either a red or yellow onion. Thyme is optional, but it's gonna add flavor, so I'm throwing it in there. Then you're gonna need some carrots, celery, and then 1 tomato. For the first step, I went ahead and put my roast in a bowl, and now we're gonna go ahead and season it. And I'm keeping it very simple. We're gonna go ahead and put in some wine, and I'm just gonna pour like 1/3 of a cup of wine in there. I'm not measuring it, but I told y'all, and y'all seen what I did. So yeah. Worcestershire sauce, I'm just gonna put a few dashes of that. And then for the other seasoning, I'm just gonna put Cajun seasoning. If you don't have Cajun seasoning, you can just use seasoning salt. And I'm just gonna be very generous with this. And if you don't have seasoning salt, just use regular salt. Options. Alright. I'm being generous because this is a big old piece of meat. So we want to make sure that it has big flavor too. So, all right, I'm gonna taste it. Tastes nice and salty. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this in the refrigerator. You don't have to marinate it, but I'm gonna sit this in the refrigerator for a few hours, and then I'm gonna come back and show y'all the next step. The next step, I got my skillet on a high heat, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of oil in there, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna take my roast, which I marinated for 2 hours. Like I said, you don't have to, but it's just gonna taste better. We're gonna go ahead, if I can pick this thing up, and we're gonna just lay it in the skillet like that. So what I'm gonna do, is we're gonna sear this on each side until it get a nice little crust. I think about 2 minutes on each side, and then I'm gonna come back and show you the next step. It's been 2 minutes. I'm gonna show you what it should look like before you flick it. So you want it to have a nice little sear action going on up in there. So we're gonna cook it for another 2 minutes on this side, and then I'm gonna take it out the skillet. So I done took out my my little roast, and I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little more oil into the skillet. We ain't cleaning it or none of that. Leave all of the burnt bits inside of the skillet. Then off camera, I chopped up the whole tomato. We're gonna put that in there. And you want to save the rest of your little wine mixture from when we marinated, and we're gonna put that in there too. And at this point, you can turn your heat down to like a medium setting. And we just gonna cook these tomatoes basically until it's like nothing there besides a sauce. We shouldn't take too long, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep frying it and cooking it for a few minutes until it gets where I need it to be, which I'll show y'all in a couple of seconds. So as you can see, my little tomatoes have cooked down quite a bit. It's pretty much nothing at this point. And that's how you want it to be, just a little thick kind of sauce. Now turn your heat all the way off, and then off camera I cut up some bell pepper. My bad, this is a new tripod, so it's taking me a little bit to get used to it, but anyway, bell pepper, a whole yellow onion, and then a few smashed pieces of garlic. You don't have to cut it any particular way, but yeah. What I'm gonna do is just line the pan with these vegetables here. The bell peppers, it don't matter, but for the onions, I'm gonna lay it in a way that it'll be like a little bed for the roast. So yeah, just lay it on top of each other. Doesn't matter, whatever. And if you don't like big onions, you can chop them up if you want. It really doesn't matter, but they're gonna cook down a lot anyway. All right, y'all. So what I'm gonna do is take our roast and I'm gonna lay it right on top of all the onions. So you see how everything is elevated now. It ain't just like directly sitting on the skillet. And what we're gonna do after that is I'm gonna pour a little bit of water up in here. Just a little bit, because everything is gonna create juices anyway, so you don't want to fill it up, but we're gonna pour a little water on the bottom of that. I don't know, maybe like 2 cups of water. And now, oh yeah, before I forget, we're gonna put some thyme action up in there too. I mean, it's not necessary, but damn, I can't even get this thing open. I'm gonna put a little bit of thyme action up in there. And I'll probably never use this shit again, but whatever. All right. We're gonna cover this with foil, and then I got my oven set to 350 degrees. We are gonna bake this for about 1 hour and 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and show you the next step. Oh yeah, and if you don't have a cast iron like this, you can always just use a regular old pan. A regular old casserole dish or something. Alright, y'all, so it has been 1 hour and 30 minutes that I've been baking this, and as you can see, it's looking pretty nice, but we ain't done. We gotta make the vegetables. So I'm just gonna put a little juice on the roast. Over there. And then off camera, I went ahead and chopped up some carrots and celery, and then we got our potatoes. And if you don't have baby potatoes, again, you can just cut up some Idaho potatoes or something. So we're just gonna put all of our vegetables up in here. Alright, so once you fill up your pan with the vegetables and stuff, whatever you're gonna put, go ahead and bake it some more. Shit, I'm spilling stuff everywhere. Bake it some more for about 1 hour on 350. So we have been baking this for a total of 2 hours and 30 minutes, and as you can see, my potatoes are soft. Everything is soft. Our meat is fork tender. I mean, I'm gonna pull it apart a little bit. As you can see, it's nice and tender, y'all. My food is not ready, so I'm gonna just leave this in the oven on a low setting, like 200 degrees, but you can serve it like this. But yeah, if you leave it in the oven a little longer, it'll just get tender. So this is the end result of my pot roast. As you can see, it's looking extra moist. And I just went ahead and made some macaroni and cheese and cornbread and stuff. I'll go ahead and taste it for y'all. And try to get a little. That's a big piece of. It's good. You see that fat? Too good. But anyways, y'all, if you don't know how to make if you don't know how to make a pot roast, I suggest you try out this recipe. If you do know but want to try a different recipe, I suggest you try this out. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode of Cooking with Lyssa.